All right. What's up, everybody? Episode 80, 580 show. A little bit
Just
of a skeleton crew this week
just the
because,
Bash Bros, me and Frawley.
yeah, the guy Riley on the show is getting married this weekend down in Mexico. So Josh and Riley are on a little bit of a vacation. So Dante and I are here just to record, talk a little bit about what's going on this week, and see if we can entertain you folks. So, what do we got going on this week, Dante? Um,
Well, this week it was kind of like dead in the gym a little bit. People were going down for Raleigh's wedding, people that train on different days and stuff. But, at the end of the day, 580 is more than just a crew. It's a gym. We still train business as usual. So,
yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it was weird. Like early in the week, it was kind of the usual crew, right? But as Josh and Riley prepared to travel, the gym kind of quieted down. We had a good week. Some people hit some big PRs in the gym, which that's obviously always cool.
yeah, Pork,
But
Pork was hitting some big deadlifts.
yeah, and it's kind of funny too. Like when the summer starts to pick up in full gear, our schedules don't always match up, and we always don't get our work in the way that we want to with our normal crew. But um, it's still like you and I think Nick both went last night.
Mhm.
Typically, we don't go on Fridays, but if the depending on what your social schedule is like, sometimes you have to move around a little bit. That's kind of what we're doing. I went to Strongman Saturday this morning, like normal. There's only a few people. I think there was 5 people total. So it was pretty quiet. It's not normally like that, but it gives you a chance to get some good work in and really focus on what you're doing because you don't get pulled aside, maybe kind of joking and screwing around a little bit. But um, it was good that way. But yeah, it's definitely weird being in the gym whenever we don't have our full crew.
Yeah, it was like Friday night. We had like kind of the same crew, but different people that don't always come together. So it was kind of like a mixed match, misfit group. It was kind of fun, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just different perspective. But it's like you said, we still get everything done. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, and you said too, it was even though it was a little bit different schedule, it was still everybody still had a great training session. So that's really what kind of matters.
So what are you focusing on right now, Frawley? You want to tell everyone what you're trying to focus on for training wise?
Yeah. Right now I'm worried about the OSG online qualifier. The events dropped a couple weeks ago. We covered it when it dropped. Um, I That's kind of my main focus right now. I'm wiggling my way into a deadlift suit for the first time, and I have to say it's been quite the adventure.
Yeah.
So it's challenging, but if it's going to be part of the strongman world moving forward, then it's something I have to get used to. So I'm looking forward to it. But what about
But
you?
yeah, so I'm probably going to do the OSG qualifier right now. Right now, at Nationals, I talked to my coach, and Nationals is the main priority.
For
But we're
sure.
gonna, since this is like the off season for me, I'm doing a lot of hypertrophy work. We're just gonna kind of like do a mini peak for like a max overhead,
Yep.
sandbag to shoulder or stone, and then the 3 rep deadlift.
Which one do you think you'll do? Do you think you'll do a sandbag or a stone?
See, I like the idea of a stone, but I've only ever done it once, and that was on my very first Strongman Saturday a long time ago.
Sure. Yep.
But I'm just so familiar with the sandbag, even though I kind of been shitting the bed with them a little bit. So I think I
Yeah.
think I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to drill some sandbags and just go with that.
Yeah.
My barbell press is not too bad right now. I hit 300 the other day,
Hmm.
but I can definitely tell some technique is lacking from the different kind of press and barbell. And I don't know. I just gotta put it together, and I think I definitely 315 is in the tank. I almost got it to a lockout, but
Yeah, for
no
sure.
cigar.
For sure. Yeah. And I like the uniqueness that they're letting you pick the implements that you're using for the individual events. We kind of covered that once, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I do like that they're saying, okay, well, if you're better at log, you can do a log. If you think you're better at barbell, do a barbell. We want your best numbers, is basically what they're saying. That's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah,
And, between a stone and a sandbag, too, right? We want your best numbers. So whatever gets you your best number, go after it and let's see what you got. So, yeah, that's the same approach I'm taking. I'm definitely not doing as much hypertrophy as you are. But I'm just kind of running like a week to week, like mini peak for probably about 6 weeks until we hit maybe like middle of July, maybe the third week of July, and then I'm just going to kind of call it and switch gears to nationals.
Yeah,
So
if they ever release the events.
yeah, we were talking about that a little bit offline. If we ever actually get the events, I'm sure there's a lot of details behind the scenes that we don't see that's causing some delays, but I know we kind of expected to have them by now, but nonetheless, whenever they're there, we'll be ready. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have a general idea of what the events might articulate around just based off previous nationals.
sure.
But like you said, we'll figure it out when time gets there.
Yeah, it's just so hard to speculate though, because every year, like you look back to the last few years, and every year they've changed. So, I mean, we might have a general flow of like we can expect maybe two presses, and I know that doesn't make Josh happy, but um, we could maybe expect two presses. We could probably expect a deadlift, some kind of moving medley, etc. But we'll see. I don't want to speculate too much, but it will be nice. It will be nice to finally get those events and not have to think about it anymore and just know what we're planning for. So
yeah, just be on the lookout for episode 85 when the events finally release.
In another month or so. Yeah. So
but yeah, there was a couple other things today in Strongman. There was USS Nationals was there, and then was it the Southwest? Was it the Southwest OSG qualifier? Is that what that one was called?
Yep. The Southwest OSG qualifier down in Texas. USS Nationals up in New Hampshire, which I think was pretty close to Boston, if I remember right when I was looking.
It actually ended fairly quicker than I thought, to be fair.
Yep. Our guy Jerry went up there to compete. So shout out to Jerry for putting on a performance this weekend. Probably didn't go the way he wanted to, but I know he ended up in the top 10. So that's good.
Yeah. Jerry texted me. He said his goal was top 10. So he's pretty happy with that. And he said it was one of the best. That's one of the best experiences he've had. So I'm glad he had a good time. And sure. So shout out Jerry.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you because there were a few guys that I was interested in see how they did. Jerry obviously being number one, but I talked to Dylan Gartner a little bit on Instagram, and I was kind of following how he did too. And I was kind of shocked to see that the show was done by like 2:00. Mm-hmm. Now I do know that Jerry did say that it started at like 9 a.m. But they had 10 lanes running of competitors, so they got through it pretty dang fast. We were talking a little bit about it throughout the day too. And it was just like, wow, they really had a lot of competitors, but they really ran through them too. So that's pretty cool that, I know the biggest concern when you get all those competitors into a show is how long are we going to be here and how much sitting around are we going to be doing? Right. Mm-hmm. And, I don't think it seems to be the case, right? So
seems like everyone had a decent amount of time to get everything done. Hopefully warm-ups went well, but when you have that many people, who knows? But
yeah, it's tough.
It's Strongman at the end of the day. We just gotta do what we gotta do.
Well, the other thing too, though, with the warm-ups, I mean, if you're not sitting around as much, it's easier to stay fresh. Kind of like we talked about that before a little bit, but it's easier to stay moving and your blood's still pumping and so on. But so hopefully that went well for everybody. I know we've been talking offline too. The OSG qualifier, we've been watching the stream running pretty consistently.
I think they're on the Sandbag the Shoulder right now as we're doing this episode.
Right. So, and I think that's the final one. I think they've been through everything.
The final event, yeah.
So they had the press, the deadlift, yoke to the iron cross, and then the medley with a sled drag.
Yeah,
they're on Sandbag the Shoulder. So that way, it's kind of funny to compare the pace of USS Nationals to this regional because they're right. Like they only have so many lanes and they only have so much equipment to manage the athletes that they have. Mm-hmm. So the USS show went through however many hundred competitors they had very quickly, but the OSG stream seems to be taking a bit longer, which is kind of expected. They're running all classes, everybody through every event, and then they're moving to the next event, And I'm sure that there are some tear down and set up too in between events. It takes a little bit of time, but it is what it is. It seems to be, I mean, you've been watching it and kind of following it too. It seems to be running pretty well.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many slip ups. Like I had a rugby match today, so I've been watching it in between games a little bit just to see what's going on. But
yeah,
I don't know. It looks like it's a cool setup. I like the setup. Like the arena that they're in is pretty sick.
Yeah, it looks awesome. The presentation looks really cool. it's always cool to see like how they showcase the event whenever you get to these big shows like that. And they kept mentioning it on the live stream too. They're like, these people are fighting for a world championship in their weight class to get there, I should say. They're fighting for their spot at the table, like Furman always says. They're fighting for their spot to get to a world championship. So you're really seeing some guys get pushed, guys and girls, I should say, get pushed to performances they probably wouldn't hit otherwise. So
now, are they taking? I forget what they said. Is it top 1 or top 3 or top 2?
Top 3 from each regional will go to OSG. They will
Okay.
get an invite. So as long as you hit the podium. Now, I don't know if that's stipulated with the amount of people per class.
Yeah, so that could change.
So if some of the classes are a little thin, so like if they have 3 people, I don't know if all 3 get invited for just being at the qualifier. But I can't answer that one, but
we'll find out, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Sure, once it wraps up. But very cool to see that kind of kicking off the OSG season, because here we are in June and we're already talking about November, right? The online qualifier launches. Now the regionals are starting to launch. And the other thing that'll be interesting too is to see how the regionals shape up. And then if people don't place the way they want to, how many of those guys or girls will jump into the online qualifier as well?
I guarantee you almost everybody probably will.
Sure.
It's too easy not to be honest.
Yeah. It makes too much sense. If you're going to these qualifiers with an attempt, with an expected effort to get there. And if you don't, you can always lean on the online qualifier to see how you're going to do there too. So, but I'm sure that's going to spike numbers with participation after the regionals wrap up. But the other one is in August. So the online qualifier will be over by the time the one in Washington kicks off. So those people won't probably get a double whammy. They'll probably either commit or do the online and go from there, but we'll see. So
yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up, a lot of cool stuff happening.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, that's kind of relevant to what we're all doing. Right. The next big one, like Josh alluded to, is going to be nationals. Definitely for the gym. We're going to have a big presence up there. Hopefully we have someone, if not more than one, making it to Daytona, and we'll be able to travel down there to support.
Dude, trust me, like last year when I went to support, it was such a good time. I can't imagine like having like people in multiple classes like just you being fired up, because like I get fired up just watching OSG because how it was like set up in the big arena. It was just a sick experience just to witness all that. But
sure,
I can just imagine like seeing all your friends around there, and I don't know, just seeing everybody compete with the top tier athletes and stuff. It would just be a sight to be seen.
Yeah, for sure. It's always cool to go down and support people just in general, but when you're training for it and you're going through the preparation for it too, that makes it a little bit more intimate and gets you a little more fired up and ready to go for the event. So, well, we'll see, man. I hope somebody can make it there. That'll be freaking awesome.
I can see if not this year, definitely next year.
For sure. Yeah. Ideally you're getting better each year. So if you're really close this year, ideally next year you should be getting in. So, so on the 580 calendar, what do we got coming up? We got some people competing. What do we got?
Pork's Nationals in Vegas. What is that, in 2 weeks?
Who's Nationals? Was it
not Pork? Furby, not Pork. Sorry, Pork.
Yeah, Furby's going to Nationals, untested Nationals in Vegas, USPA Nationals.
I think it's like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, isn't it?
No, it's July 10th. I believe he competes on a Sunday. So
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so he's going out that weekend. He just hit a big squat PR last week, so that's always good when you're a couple weeks out and you're hitting some numbers you haven't really touched. And then he'll be pretty much wrapping up prep here. I think he only has maybe
next week he said he had like a heavy pull or something.
Yep. And then he's pretty much done. So
and Josh is getting peaked for Strong again, July 16th.
Yep.
Right
Yep.
now, he's doing that in that Cancun resort gym, doing what he can to
doing what he can
stay in
do.
shape.
Hey, like we said, business continues.
Yep.
If you got stuff to do, you got to fit it in somehow if you're serious about it. If you're not, well, then maybe it's not a top priority at certain times. But
I mean,
when
Josh was willing to bring empty sandbags to the beach and load them up.
he's gonna fly empty sandbags to the beach just so he can continue to train like normal on the beach.
I mean, whatever it takes, right? But
Right.
yeah, I think that's all that's coming up in 580's calendar. I'm not
What
too
was
sure.
the date on that? That's July 16th, right? That's out in Johnstown. So we'll probably all be there, or a good handful of us will be there.
Yeah, I plan on since I'm not competing, I'll be able to like film stuff. I plan on making like a little travel vlog and stuff and a little behind the scenes stuff to give you guys an idea like how we support and how Josh competes and all that jazz.
For sure. Keep an eye out for that on the 580 YouTube channel. That'll be coming out. Probably take a couple days after the competition, but it'll be out nonetheless. And then I think Pork's getting ready for a competition, but it's not till October, so he's got a little bit of time. He's working on moving weight classes right now, so we'll see how his body adjusts to dropping from 275 to 242. Seems to be going pretty well thus far.
He's looking good, dude.
Yeah, he looks good. His weights are staying the same, if not better. As he's dropping, hopefully slowly over the next few months. He's got from now until October, so he's got about 4 months.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Hopefully he can shed that weight pretty evenly, pretty steadily, and then he can maintain as much as he's got there, so he's ready to go. And then I don't know what's after that. So hopefully, we're looking until we're kind of booked up until it'd be you at the Arnold probably in March, but
it's gonna go like nationals, possibly OSG, Pork's thing, 580s, winter show, then the Arnold.
Yeah. So we don't know the events for that yet. They haven't been announced. I'm sure Josh is itching to get that show dropped, but he doesn't want to drop it too soon either. So that'll be December 10th at 580 Barbell. He's already dropped that date. So we'll see whenever he lets that one go live. I don't know. I have no clue when that's going to happen, but it's definitely on the radar. It'll be a really fun show. Going to be awesome. Make sure you're paying attention. Get ready to get signed up, especially if you're local. And then I think that's pretty much it for the calendar. What else we got?
Not much. I mean, it's kind of like you said, a slow day or a slow week for 580. Just kind of recapping some stuff that happened today in the strongman world, some stuff in the future that's going on, and I'm sure there'll be more content. I think Josh wants to do some more drops and releases soon.
Yeah.
So next week we'll probably cover more stuff and get on with that.
Yeah, definitely. If you're in need of pre-workout, remember 580 horsepower is available for sale. Go to 580barbell.com. If you're local, come to the gym, pick some up. Josh ships to wherever, so if you need it shipped, he can do that. The in-person is obviously a little bit easier if you're able to. So, if you have a Saturday that you're free, come swing by, maybe pick up some pre-workout and get a session in while you're there. We're always there Saturdays, 10 a.m. It's free to anybody. Just remember to support the gym, and it's pretty much it. I don't know any other releases coming from 580 Barbell, so we'll save that for when Josh is back on the show. Kind of just recapped here, and hopefully whenever everybody's back, we can collaborate again and get a big boy episode rolling and have everybody back on and talking. So
yeah, hopefully us two didn't scare you guys away this episode.
Yeah, hopefully not. So thanks for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.